Mind's Eye Audio presents Small Complications, Chapter 4. Bobby D was finally happy, and it was a deep, sincere happiness. This was very different from the superficial pleasure that he had experienced his whole life, whenever he simply got his way. This is it. This is what life is all about, Bobby told himself. He found himself saying this more and more often lately. It was as if he were trying to convince himself that he should be feeling this way. Bobby had no complaints about his life. His wife was beautiful, and they got along well. They were growing together as a family, passionately pursuing their goals and equally aggressive in their dedication to quality time. There were no detectable cracks in their armor. Yet Bobby had been troubled lately by a nagging feeling of discontent deep down beneath the sublevels of his spirit. He couldn't point to a day on the calendar when it all began, and there was no triggering event. He just looked up one day and there it was. Sadly, he suspects, the feeling had probably always been there. In the beginning, it was merely disguised as the occasional case of the butterflies in his stomach, but over the years it had grown into something that's undeniably troubling. Maybe that's why I started flirting, he thought to himself, seeking to justify his not-so-innocent interactions with women outside of his marriage. For a while, Bobby was content just to fantasize about other women while making love to his wife. But lately, that tactic had become less and less effective in quenching the hidden thirst that he possessed. Bobby began to drink more and successfully encouraged his wife to join him. In their intoxicated states, Bobby's more exotic sexual suggestions met with little or no resistance. Their sexual escapades progressed from unusual locations to video recordings to adult toys. No one could accuse the Dawsons of being sexually conservative. Bobby's wife was naturally accommodating, and in a weakened state, brought out by the consumption of indecent amounts of alcohol, she could be practically talked into doing anything to and with her husband. So Bobby was having his way. Anything goes. The sky was the limit once again for Bobby D. Ironically, the more he got his way, the more he wanted, and he had become the thirsty man who had just crossed the desert, a man trying to fill his cup with water, unaware that his cup had a large hole in it. He kept putting the cup to his lips, yet never getting his thirst quenched. He just keeps trying harder and harder, faster and faster, only to get thirstier and thirstier. The insanity reached a crescendo one night as Brenda Dawson agreed to Bobby's request to have a threesome. "Anything for you, baby," she told him. Just as was the case with many of their nighttime adventures, the events of that particular night were mostly a blur. But one thing did not escape their memory. They had invited another woman into their bedroom, and there was no way to undo that. Or was there?